Pruett, please. Mr. Pruett, would you state your name and where you live for the reporter, please?
Yeah, my name is Keith Pruett, and I live in Vacaville, California.
Now, I can ask you this. I couldn't ask Betty this. What's your age, sir?
I'll be 65 next week.
Okay. And are you in the trucking business?
I've been in the trucking business for 20 years.
Okay. What year is your truck?
My truck's a 1999 Kenworth.
And do you perform opacity testing?
Yeah, I used to.
Okay.
I belong to the California Construction Trucking Association, and we currently have 2 opacity meters, and one was for the Southern California area and the other one was for the Northern California area. And a lot of times I belong, I'm the chapter chairman for the Fairfield chapter of the Construction Trucking Association, and my members, I did the smoke testing for their equipment.
Okay, was there a particular reason for, I mean, is there a distinction between the North and the South, or it was just a division of the state?
It was just a division of the state. Betty Plowman is the Northern representative, and we have a Southern representative also down south.
On your truck, what are your opacity levels?
My opacity levels are around 2.7 is normally what it is. I am a single truck owner operator, and I'm not required to do an opacity test. If you have 2 trucks or more, you're required by law to have those tested once a year. But I always test my truck because, and I always tell my people in my chapter that test your truck and it'll tell you if there's something wrong with your truck. It'll tell you immediately. Mike Hamilton said yesterday that he can dial his whatever up and down, and the more power you get out of your truck, the darker the smoke. Okay? The opacity levels for that the CARB puts out is for a 1991 and below, or 1991 and older, you're allowed 55% opacity. 55% opacity is as dark as your jacket is. Okay. For newer than 1991, it's 40. Okay. And you can, depending on the engine, and you know, a lot of people got 600 horsepower, stuff like that, you're going to get a higher opacity reading with those. But mine is I have an M11 Cummins. It's a M11 Cummins engine, and it is a variable horsepower rating. It's 330 horsepower to 370 or something like that. But I have a 2.7.
And with your truck, and what would be the what is CARB's allowable rate?
40.
40.
Yeah. So Betty's been over.
And that would be 4 points.
4 points.
I mean, is that the way they would show it?
2.7. I could go up to 40 points.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I'm really low. If you keep your truck clean and you keep your truck running well, you won't have any smoke at all. But if you go and you jack up the horsepower and stuff like that, you're going to see a lot of these trucks that are out there right now are making it hard for everyone here. Okay?
So you are, you're 33 points less than the CARB, than what CARB would allow.
Well, actually a little more than that.
Yeah.
38, almost 37
yeah,
points.
That's right, okay. In spite of that, how much longer can you operate that truck?
I am currently on, I'm registered with CARB now, and I have a CARB compliant truck until the end of this year. At the end of this year, I'm required to have a filter or replace the truck.
In spite of the relative OPAC levels, those make no difference to
It makes no difference. Because CARB wants zero emissions. And as soon as they get everybody to get all new trucks and everything, that's not going to stop there. They are probably going to tell everybody, now you got to get electric. You know, we want zero.
Well, and they have set aside, what is it, I believe it is, and you're probably aware of this, $50 million in seed money for somebody who can invent the viable electric vehicle.
Right. Well, that's...
what do you plan to do when the end of the year comes?
Well, I haven't decided yet. I'm still waiting. It's $20,000 for a filter. I can only run it to 2020. All right. And then, like I said, I'll be 65, and the wife, her and I have been talking about doing something that we want to do instead of working. And she wants to stay at her job for another 2 years, and it would be nice to stay for another couple of years, but it doesn't look like it. A new truck to replace mine is $117,000, and then tax and everything on that is about $135,000. And I have a 10-wheel dump truck. This is all I do. And I'm currently on the construction truck, or the work truck exemption, where I've had my truck for 10 years, and I've put 180,000 miles on my truck. So that's less than 18,000 miles a year. I'm allowed 20,000 a year. So if I bought a new truck and, you know, I kept it for a couple of years, then, you know, it's just a waste of money, I think.
And how much did you say the filter would cost?
The filter's about $20,000. It depends on who you talk to. But then it's only good till 2020. And then you have the problem of putting this filter on and driving it away from your installation point, and hopefully you'll make it home.
That seems to be the testimony, right?
Because once that stuff goes through your turbo, and if you get lucky and it goes out the ass end, if it goes out the back end, you're okay. All you have to do is replace the turbo. But if it goes through the front, then it goes through the intake manifold and takes out the bottom end of your engine. So you can figure $1,000 for a turbo on the back, and $20,000 if it goes through the front.
And if you bought a new truck at that amount that you said, it would appear to me that you don't have any real guarantee as to how many years you could operate that truck either. The way they changed the rules.
Well, like the gentleman was talking before, they change the rules every time they turn around. And zero emissions is their goal. And 2015 trucks are not zero emissions. If you go down to the ports, if you just go out on the highway, and you'll see these trucks, all of a sudden they'll start spitting out black, blue, gray smoke, whatever. And you know, it's just a matter of time before they ruin California. So,
in effect, not in effect, but actually, what CARB has done is make you make a decision about retirement far before you're ready to make it.
I'm not ready to go. I'm still in good shape. I don't want to sit home. I've seen a lot of people retire, sit home, next thing you know, they're in a box. Okay, that's not me.
All right. Any questions of Mr. Pruett from members of the board?
Just one, spelling your last name, please.
P-R-U-E-T-T.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Pruett? All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Pruett.
for coming.